Hi class, I know a few of you have had some difficulties with this assignment, so I wanted to walk through it with you. The first question, the least squares regression line will always travel through that point, x bar, y bar. And what that is, that's the mean of the x values and the mean of the y values. In other words, the line goes through the point that's central to all of them. Okay. I'm guessing that the question that you had the hard time with was problem 2. Scatter diagram is shown. We can see that it's a roughly linear pattern. So we need to determine the least squares regression line, and then we need to graph that line. And we can do that in StatCrunch. We want to copy the data by clicking on the two rectangles and opening that in StatCrunch. Okay. There's all the data. Now to compute the least squares regression line, we click on Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. The x variable was in the column labeled x, the y variable in the column labeled y. And that's basically all that we need to do. Click on Compute. And there's two things that will help us here. First is the equation. Y equals 6.55 minus 0.8375x. So I'm going to go back to the homework window. I need the slope, the number being multiplied by x, and I need to round that to 4 decimal places. So head back. That was negative 0.8375. So negative 0.8375x. And now I need the y-intercept, which was the first number given to us. That's 6.55. Check answer. Nice work. For the second part, I need to graph the least squares regression line. And so I know that the y-intercept is at 6.55. Let's look on the magnifying glass. When I look at this graph, 1, 2, 3, 4, this crosses below 5, so that's no good. Let's take a look at this one. This crosses at about 6.5, so it's a candidate. This line crosses at 7, not right. And then finally this line, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 roughly. So that one's no good as well. So the only line that matches the regression line is C. Okay, problem 3, here's a little bit of a problem with the grading. So no matter how you do it, it's not going to work out right. And so I'm giving everybody credit for this problem. If you'd like to get extra credit, the answer is always 17.3%. I've submitted it to have the problem changed, but for now, just go ahead and mark it as such. And then finally, for the last question, there's not much to do here. Residual is the difference between the expected and observed value. And if a residual is positive, let's take a look. A residual is a difference between an observed and predicted value. If it's positive, then the observed value is greater than the predicted value. That's the one we want. Okay. I'm going to finish off by going back to problem 3, and I'm going to click on similar exercise because I do want to show you how it should have been done. We click on the table, click on the rectangles, and open in StatCrunch. While that's opening, I want to find the predicted value for a company who made 15 million. And there's two ways to do this. We're going to compute the regression line, stat, regression, simple linear. Select my x variable, compensation. The y variable is the stock return. And if I want to know what happens when x is 15, down here where it says prediction of y, I could type in 15 for x and click compute, and I'll show you how that does work. Here's the equation. Stock return equals 32.92, etc., minus 0.92 times the compensation. The estimate was for a value of 15. When x is 15, the predicted y value is 19.058. I could have got the same result by plugging in 15 right here for compensation.